A Stoic process for life. In this episode, I'm going to discuss a modern twist on an ancient Stoic philosophy or an ancient Stoic structure that was based on the three disciplines of action. This modern twist is called study, practice, teach, and it does take a lot of notes from the three disciplines of action, which were perception, action, will, linked with learn, practice, train. Now, this modern structure can be used in many different areas of your life. Study, practice, teach. And if you hang on to the end of the video, I'm going to discuss how you can use it effectively in your day. But before we start, I wanted to get some advice from Marcus Aurelius on why surrounding yourself with learning and good thoughts is a positive. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. This quote from Marcus Aurelius is pretty straightforward. The quality of your life depends on your thoughts. Now, if you want to be more effective in your life, you want to surround yourself in the subjects that you want to learn, and you want to surround yourself with the right kind of information so you're constantly growing and constantly getting better. And that's where study, practice, teach comes into. When you're studying, you're learning and thinking about a subject. When you're practicing a subject, you're learning about it and you're thinking about it. And when you're teaching a subject, you're learning about it and you're thinking about it. So your thoughts are constantly on that subject and your thoughts are constantly about getting better. And that is an effective way to use this structure. But we'll discuss that at the end of the video as well. Let's look at the first part of study, practice, teach, which obviously is study. And as we start, let's get some advice here from Seneca. If you apply yourself to study, you will avoid all boredom of life. You will not long for night because you are sick of daylight. You will be neither a burden to yourself nor useless to others. You will attract many to become your friends, and the finest people will flock about you. Seneca. Seneca is talking about applying yourself to the study of a craft. Doesn't matter what that craft is, but if you specialize in something or you specialize in a number of different areas, not only will you be useful to the people around you, you'll be useful to yourself, to your own life. And those around you will ask for your help, or you'll be able to help others with the specific skill that you've learned because you applied yourself to study. Learning and growing is one of the most important parts of life and a personal development journey, but it's also a key cornerstone of Stoicism. Stoicism was about preparing yourself for all eventualities in life, which meant that you should really learn and grow throughout your life. So this first part of study, practice, teach is really studying, which is learning. Be a constant learner. Leaders are readers. People who want to grow in life, they learn. So get this down to start and start studying and learning on a specific subject and learn it and learn it and learn it. So that's the first part of this process, study. The second part of this process is pretty important. It's about putting into action some of the learning and the studying that you've done. So practice. But before we discuss this further, let's get some friendly advice from Epictetus. That's why the philosophers warn us not to be satisfied with mere learning, but to add practice and then training. For as time passes, we forget what we have learned and we end up doing the opposite, and we hold opinions the opposite of what we should. Epictetus. This is one of my favorite quotes from Epictetus. It's about not just learning, it's about implementing and implementing and implementing some more. We've all done it, we've all been there, we all went to school, we've all read books, we've all had certain jobs that had a specialized part to it that we have forgotten because we stopped doing that job or we stopped learning, and years have passed and we no longer have those skills. The key lesson here about practice in the three-step process of study, practice, teach is that if you want to turn your studying and your learning into something more tangible, you have to take action. You've got to put into practice what you're learning. It is probably the most important step out of the three-step process. But again, I'll discuss that at the end a bit further. If you want to get further in your life, if you want to be better, you've got to practice what you're learning. Reading and reading and reading just doesn't work. So practice, practice, practice. The third and final part of study, practice, teach, it's teach. And before we dive a little bit deeper into this and discuss what teaching means, let's get some more advice from Seneca. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those who are capable of improving. The process is a mutual one. Men learn as they teach. Seneca. There are two different types of teaching. There's passive teaching and there's direct teaching. Direct teaching is your classic schoolroom teaching, university teaching, or being a trainer. Or even this YouTube channel could be described as direct teaching because there is a teacher and there is a learner. But the other part of teaching is passive teaching. Passive teaching is when you just embody your philosophies and you act the right way and people see you doing that and they learn by osmosis. They see you as an example and you passively teach people around you the right way to act. And this is what Seneca is talking about in his quote. It's not just about teaching those around you, standing on a stoa, on a porch, and teaching other people your philosophies. It's actually acting them out so people can see them, so they learn from you. And that's why you should surround yourself with other people who want to improve and other people who can improve you. Because it's a teaching circle of direct and passive teaching that continually circles around, making you a better person. Study, practice, teach is a sequential theory. You need to start with studying and learning so you're able to move on to practicing and implementing so you can move on to teaching, either passively or directly. To use this process effectively in your life, you have to start with studying and learning. I want to focus on this part for a little second because a lot of us get stuck at the studying and learning part. Many of us read Stoic books, many of us read philosophy, many of us learn new subjects to get better, but a lot of us get stuck at that learning part. Getting to the implementing part, getting to the practice part of study, practice, teach is probably the most important step you'll ever do in your life. If you can use this process properly and move from studying to practice, you'll get that direct experience using the skills that you've learned through reading philosophy, reading other Stoic books, reading on subjects that you want to get better at, whether that's in entrepreneurship or within a corporate environment, and you practice those skills. And then when you practice those skills, you get confidence and capabilities, and then others will either learn from you passively or you can start teaching people through YouTube channels or blog posts or whatever direct teaching format you choose to put your work out into. So how to use it effectively? By doing the work, by being a Stoic and doing the right thing. Study, practice, teach. I have used this structure quite effectively over the last couple of years. I have studied deeply into a subject, then I've implemented those ideas, and then I've been able then to passively or directly teach people in my life. This process can help you. It is something that you can use in the short term over the stage of a weekend to learn something small, or it is an overriding process that you can use for your life. Study something, implement, and practice it. You can get results quickly with this, or you can get results over a long period of time. But let me know your thoughts about this study, practice, teach. Let me know if you get any results in your life using it. I'd love to hear from you. And I also appreciate the fact that you've watched all the way through to this part of the video. So if you want to hit that like button, please do. Also, if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome also. Hopefully, we'll see you in the next video. Make it a good one.